Fantastic. So, welcome. This is the Will to Thrive, my first ever webinar, specifically designed to help you using the techniques that I use and have developed called I Love You Me Healing. And tonight we're going to be focusing on, it's mostly solar plexus stuff, to be honest. It's all around the will, and it's about really transforming the struggle patterns, the fear patterns, the lack patterns, and the pain and the helplessness. And being able to do something beautiful with those feelings so that absolutely resolving, restoring, bringing relief to those feelings and allowing love into that space so that what you're experiencing changes. What you're experiencing becomes empowerment. What you're experiencing becomes joy, release, freedom. That feeling of I can rather than the feeling of I can't. So if that sounds good to you, you are in the right place. Thank you so much for joining me. Maybe just give your hand a little wave or say hi in the chat box. And from time to time I'll check that. That's okay, Ash, your hand's down now. So yeah, I can see all the comments in the chat box, but that's really for you. If you want to ask any questions at any point, I will check the question box from time to time just to check in with you. Because I really want to make sure, since this is a journey, that you're still with me and that I've still got you and that you're still included. And what's happening, what I'm saying, what's happening in my sphere of awareness, you're also on board with that. You're included in that, and that you're getting it. So if at any point you're not understanding or you're not getting what's happening, or something comes up that you want support and help with, then I would love you to be able to put that in the chat box. Just type, not chat box, the question box. Just put a quick question. And at certain points, it's also possible that I may unmute one of you or two of you or however many of you need to be unmuted at any one time. Because if you have something that you need to ask in person rather than typing, then I can do that. You can ask in person. So I hope that makes sense. So how does this begin? Okay, it begins by getting comfortable. You don't have to sit in any kind of yogic, nice straight posture. I want you to sit with cushions so that you can relax your spine, so that you can relax your neck particularly. Because you're going to be letting go. So I want you to be in a really beautiful, relaxed place for letting go. Okay? And only you know what that looks like and feels like. And it's also a good idea to have some water to hand in case you need that too. All right? So, good. I'm just going to continue. The first place to begin, as far as I'm concerned, with any healing, and in fact, any day, or any moment, or any journey of consciousness, in fact, is to be able to bring our attention back here to ourselves, to our breath. And this is the crisis point, when we are so out there, when our mind is thinking, stretching, reaching, imagining, projecting into the future, trying to see what's going to happen, trying to calculate what's going to happen. That gives us a lot of stress up here, a lot of stress. When our eyes are trying to see everything, trying to understand what's going on, we miss seeing something really important that's happening back here. And we won't feel seen because we're out there. It's a bit like leaving your own house and wondering why you don't feel at home anywhere. Because you have to stay in your house. You have to stay in this home, in this body, in this breath, in this moment. Like breath is the now o'clock. And it's going to keep you regular and sane and safe. Literally. And when we're not in this now o'clock, we're out there in goodness knows what, everybody else's agenda or some imagined time-space reality. Projected time-space reality, it's really, really painful and confusing, and we get lost. So if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling confused, if you're feeling like you don't know which direction to go in right now, chances are you are so far out of your own home, and that's why you're experiencing that pain. So you need to come back. This is always step one. The moment you start to notice something is off, something doesn't feel okay, you're stretched, you're stressed, you can't move forward, you're in fear, this is what we need to do. Stop. Breathe. Reconnect. So I invite you to close your eyes. I invite you to just listen to my voice. And I invite you to soften everything. So softening the forehead. You can even use your fingers if you like to very gently and delicately stroke yourself and encourage yourself to completely soften all around the eyes and the back of the eyes, and the temples and the sides of the head, and all around the sinuses here where we're straining to get a sense of something, to catch the right scent of the trail. We're so straining to breathe, most of us. So let that soften. Oh, let it go. Let your cheekbones soften, let your jaw soften, your beautiful little face and your beautiful mouth. Your sweet, innocent, childlike self is in there. The one that remembers how to be soft. The one that didn't struggle. This is before you learned that. That's still in you and it's still there. If you just allow yourself to drop into that childlike, soft, passive place. Let the mouth open. Let the jaw soften completely and even all the way down your throat and your neck. Now there's a lot of tubes in your throat and your neck doing all kinds of different important jobs. And you will carry a lot of tension there. It's a storage place for stress, for unspoken words, for all kinds of things. You need to open it. Because this is like the funnel where energy comes in, fresh breath comes in, down into the body. And it needs to reach deep down, because we're going to go on a deep dive. So your breath, this life force, this life energy really, you can think of it as just oxygen or just, vapor that comes in and out. It's not. It's life force itself. Without this, you don't exist. You're a little pile of dust somewhere. Or you could turn into mulch and feed the roses, feed the worms. Now, because of this life force, it animates you. You need to be in a position to receive it before anything else can happen. So let's just clear the slate, shall we? Let's clear the space for you to receive. Drop everything. Drop every muscle in your body. Be willing to come to that place of a child. Completely soft. And let this passageway open. So allow your breath to come in through the mouth. It's almost like it just sort of shines on you or rains on you. And you just take it in sweetly and gently without any effort at all. And if you're struggling to receive your breath, your struggle pattern has really got hold of you. And first thing we need to do is to soften and remember how to receive. Simply this. How to receive life that's trying to give itself to you. Unconditionally, it's giving and giving and giving. Every single time You take a breath, it's a knock on the door for something incredible, some miracle of existence to be received. Now, most of the time we're missing that that's happening because we're so far out there. Drop in. Bless yourself. Give yourself your hands. Give yourself your fullest, beautiful attention. This is your time. This is your space. Bring your hands to your heart. Maybe the top of your heart, maybe the middle of your heart. Maybe you just want to give yourself a little squeeze like this. And I invite you to say right now, out loud, in your own words, so that your own ears can hear you. Hello, me. Now, those of you that have done some work with me before, you know the drill, right? And it sounds so sweet, like you haven't heard it for ages. Oh, yes, me. Hello, me. And for those of you that haven't done this before, it might sound a bit strange. So I'm just going to invite you to go with it. Let's just play. Let's just have an experiment and see what good this might do you. So let's just drop any concepts we have about talking out loud to ourselves. Hopefully you're on your own in a safe place and it's quiet. So let's just play. Let's give yourself that beautiful attention that's also including being spoken to. Because let's face it, guys, if I wasn't speaking right now, this would be a very weird exchange. So to encourage your relationship to come back to you, all of your senses to turn this way, all of the tools you have in the bag for giving out to others, you're going to now give them back to you. Why? Because you need it. If you're tired of trying to get all your needs met out there, and it's frustrating, and you keep having doors slammed in your face, or you keep meeting a brick wall, or you keep running into the crash barrier on the side of the road instead of going straight towards your destination that you're choosing, something's happening here. Let's bring your full attention back where no crashing happens. There's no walls here. It's just open doors. And say, well done, me. Thank you, me, for being here in this moment right now. Say that out loud. Thank you, me, for being alive right now. Through everything that you've come through, me. Yes, through everything. Well done. And take those words in. The way that you would wish somebody else to receive your kindness and your love and your blessing. Let's start to open the doors inside you so that your words can go in, so that you can receive your own blessings and your own love. That's right, swallow it down. Thank you, me, well done. And let's just say this as well. I love you, me. I love you. Now, if English isn't your first language, I invite you to try speaking in the very first language that you were taught as a child. So you can copy my words in English, and then you can also try in your own language, or do whatever's most comfortable. And for most of this journey, I'm going to be speaking the words for you. So I want you to just soak it in like a little plant that's out in the garden, and I want to be the rain that washes you, cleans you, and soaks your soil, so that you have so much to drink in, so that you are fed, so that your thirst is quenched, so that you are nurtured, so that you can grow, because I want you to thrive. And I'm sure that you want you to thrive too. And if you haven't wanted you to thrive so far because you've been focusing on surviving, I totally understand. I really feel you. Breathe. Take my words in. I am so sorry that life has mostly been about surviving, getting by, getting from one moment to the next, getting from one day to the next, getting from 1 week or 1 month or 1 year to the next, just trying to get through it the best that you can. Bring your hands to where you're feeling that in your body right now, okay? Now I'm going to move the screen because I'm betting most of you are feeling it here, right in the heart and right in the solar plexus. And if you're feeling it anywhere else, just move your hands there, okay? Breathe. Please forgive me. I am so sorry that you have struggled. I'm so sorry that surviving has been really a tough job. And I bet you've mostly, if not completely, done it on your own. And even if you have had friends and family that love you and support you, I bet you still feel like it's been one hard, long, bloody struggle by yourself. Most of the time, okay? Even if it's not all of the time. Let's just say enough of the time, too much of the time, for it to be joyful. And for that, I'm truly sorry. I feel you, I hear you, I love you. Please forgive me. Take a deep breath. Like a little kid. Thank you. Well done. And I really value you. And hear this, not just from Tara Perry. Tara Love Perry. This person that you know or have seen on the internet or that you're hearing right now. But hear these words as I represent all those people in your life, or maybe who aren't in your life and you wish they were in your life, who you have needed to hear these words from. Who have you needed in your life to recognize you, to validate your struggle, to see your struggle and to stop you and hold you like that little person that you really are inside and say, hey, I've got you. Please forgive me that I have not been able to be there for you. Take that in, take a deep breath. Let me be that person for you. Or in fact, all of those people. I'm sorry that they can't do that for you. I'm sorry that they haven't done that for you. And I'm sorry it's highly likely that if they haven't done it now, they're not likely to do that for you. And that's sometimes really hard to believe, and it's really hard to swallow. Because the reason you're struggling is that you learned this as a child. You tried to survive way before you were fully equipped. Take a deep breath. I love you. I see you. I hear you. I feel you. And I'm really sorry, little one. But whoever you needed to be there for you, to take care of everything so that it was easy and you weren't struggling, has not been able to do that. Now let's just take the blame off. Let's just say, okay, it's not their fault and it's not your fault and it's not anybody's fault, but let's recognize that you're not okay. And maybe you haven't been okay for a really long time deep down. And that's where it always comes back to this crux, this broken place, this crushed will or depleted will where you just want to give up. And then you get up and say, no, I'll fight another day. And then, it gets you again. This is an old, old pattern. Let's feel it in the body. Where is it in your body? Put your hands there. Allow your breath there simply by opening and choosing to allow your breath to go in. Your beautiful, divinely given source of life. Let life in. Let that grown up of the divine breath in to that space so it's not tight. You're not holding something. I know you're frightened. Please forgive me. I know you're alone. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry. I love you. Take a deep breath. And I'd like you to say that to yourself. I see you, me. I'm so sorry, struggling little me. Say that out loud. I'm so sorry, struggling little me. You're trying really hard. You've done really well. But you're not okay. Please forgive me. You're not okay, me. Please forgive me. I love you, struggling little me. That's it. Let it go down like a medicine, trickling down. That soft, honey, warm love. I love you, struggling little me. Give that medicine to yourself. Unconditional love. No matter what's happening, let's love it. We're not going to push it away. Try to fighting with it. You can't hide from it. You can't run from it. Instead, we turn and face and we love. Because you're worth it. Because you need it. Because you're entirely lovable. Every single thing about you is absolutely lovable. You are perfect. You are pure. You are divine. And I love you. Now please come home. Struggling little you. Come back to the truth. Come back to the absolute love that you are. That you always have been, that you always will be, and that you are right now. Please come home to the truth. Thank you. Well done, I love you. Give yourself a little love. Whoa. You might want to just give your head a little stroke, like, whoa, what just happened there? She digging some old stuff up? Yes, probably. You're probably feeling it in the back of your head and maybe the sides of your head as your unconscious and subconscious memories. Getting a little bit of a shake up. Give your back a little stretch out. Let go. Well done. Do you want to keep struggling? This is a really important question. Because what tends to happen is we're a little kid. We see that our mum and dad or our grown-ups are not managing as well as they wish they could. They're not managing as well as we wish they could. It doesn't feel totally secure. It doesn't feel totally safe or stable. Maybe they need more looking after in your eyes than you do. Most of us felt like that as kids because you know why? Because we are super-powered light beings of absolute love who came onto this planet with a huge amount of responsibility on our shoulders. Because we knew that there was a lot of cleaning up to do around here. We knew that there was a lot of pain on this earth and a lot of stuckness and a lot of old patterns where people got stuck in the evolving. They kept recreating the same pain again and again. And we said, let's come down and change this, didn't we? Take a deep breath. See if you can feel any part of you that's just saying, yeah, maybe I did. And maybe you won't remember with your conscious mind, but maybe some part of your soul remembers. Maybe somewhere in your DNA you remember that actually you are a magnificent, full-powered being of absolute love. You're immensely wise. You're immensely creative. You're immensely generous and loving. I know that you are. And I love you. I do, because I'm just like you and you're just like me. And the fact that you're here gives me company. And the fact that I'm here gives you company, and we're not alone. We have each other, and that's so wonderful. So take a deep breath and remember that you're not alone. And the parts of you where you remember feeling alone. Because you might think, oh, I'm not alone, and actually it's not so bad. But when you were little, you did feel alone. When you were little, there wasn't many other people around like you. Maybe there was nobody. Maybe there was no one who actually saw who you are. So maybe you've been keeping it all in. And you've coped later on as an adult. But let's go back to that little one. Because if you want to stop struggling, we have to go back to where it began. We have to go back to where this pattern set in, where we watched our parents struggle and we copied them because that's how we learned as children. That's how everybody learns, by copying, Simon says, or just copying by example. Right? We did what they did. And we, in the meantime, took on all their pain. We took on a lot of responsibility for all their pain. And most of us are still carrying a shitload of that pain. Okay? And you have to ask yourself right now, is this worth it? Am I worth loving enough? Am I willing to love myself enough right now in this moment to recognize where I've struggled, to recognize where I carry pain, either of mine or the world's or everybody's, or I don't even know where it came from, but I'm carrying it anyway. And choose to let yourself be relieved of that burden. Even if you don't know how, but you're willing. Right? Because it's all a choice. That's why I use this word. It's actually a choice. Maybe you haven't realized it's a choice. Maybe it's just felt like a burden that's dumped on you and you're stuffed, using the polite word. Right? Because you couldn't see another way out because you're still that little kid inside carrying that burden. Okay? So now, grown-up you, divine you, powerful you, would you be willing to unburden that inner child? Would you be willing to unburden your soul baggage as well? It's not just the child, but it's your entire soul that perhaps has been doing this for a really long time. Maybe you're like an amazing angelic Hoover that's gone around sucking up all the crap from everybody. Maybe you've been doing it for lifetimes. And I love you, and I'm requesting that you right now stop the struggle pattern. Do you need to be that martyr? Do you need to self-sacrifice? Is it working? How well is that paying off for you? Is it making you happy? Is that loving yourself? And if it's not, let's choose to forgive and release and give it back. From wherever it came from and wherever it needs to go. And we're going to give that back to source energy. Source energy is a reality. It's a thing. Okay? Not a concept. It's an actual, as you know, everything comes from somewhere. It must. From where everything comes and to where everything returns. The heart, the source, the universe, divinity, the mother, God, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter, but just feel that. And say this: hello, source energy that I am. Yes, out loud. Ooh, soften. Let's receive, okay? You need to be in a receptive place to feel this. Because it's something that's already happening. Source energy is something that exists, is there for you, and it's bringing ourselves into the place where the source consciousness is, okay? So let's allow ourselves to awaken inwardly to experience this. Hello, source energy, that I am. Breathe and feel. What can you feel? Where can you feel it? And say, I love you, source that I am. Or I love you, love that I am. Or I love you, universe that I am. Or I love you, creator that I am. Or I love you, God, goddess that I am. You can say all of those words. Let's just open all of the possibilities. No language barriers at all, so that we can just have that experience. And drop in and say, I love you, source creator that I am. And now say this. By the power of absolute love that I am, was and always will be, I now choose to co-create a new reality with my creator source. Thank you. And turn to your little me and say, struggling little me, please forgive me. I am so sorry you've carried this burden alone for so long. I don't even know how long. I don't even remember all the details. But I know it's been a long, hard road. Whoa, you're starting to get a headache. Just put your hand there. Just feel it. Oh, you don't want to push it away. Just breathe into everything that's happening and use your hands to connect. Be aware. Be loving and conscious. And say to your, like I said, grab that little you internally. See yourself. Say that. I see you struggling, little me. I see you burdened soul, me. I see you pure, divine, innocent me that has taken on the pain of the world, the pain of my parents. And try to be the grown-up. Try to be really responsible. Try to help. I am so sorry that that's not okay for you, that actually you're not all right, that you're struggling and you're in pain and it's not fair. Please say that. I'm sorry that it's not fair, actually. Keep the breath moving. Stay clear. That's it. Let it in, let it out. Please forgive me. Say that to your little self. Please forgive me, beautiful, divine, beloved me. Please release all of that back to source. Back to the co-creator, source being that I am right now. For the highest good of you, me. So sweet to say that. For the highest good of you, little me. Please forgive, release, come home. Back to this trust, back to this truth, back to this love, this unconditional love that I am. Back to the unconditional love that I have for you. Let's exchange pain for love. Thank you. I love you, painful me. Let's say this. I love you, me that's carried pain. I love you so much. You're so loving. Thank you for trying to carry the pain and help save others. Please forgive me that that's not really very nice. And come home to the truth. Thank you. Well done. I love you. Now let's drop it, okay? So we're going to ask Mother Earth, because that's a thing too, that's an actual thing. She's not just a lump of mud floating around in outer space. She's a conscious being. And that's something you can experience if you open to receive and choose to receive that experience of being held by this divine consciousness of the mother. And what a mother does is hold you despite everything. That's what a divine, unconditionally loving mother does. So anything that's become heavy, we want to drop it down to the earth. And on behalf of Mother Earth, I'm going to say to you, my child, my beloved, please forgive me. Please release it back to me. Let me take it from you. It's not truly yours. You picked it up. You noticed it wasn't okay. You've done a fabulous job of trying to clean. Now give it back to me. It's not really yours. Thank you for doing that. I love you. Please come home, back to the mother, back to the Mother Earth, back to the source. And be held by the Divine Mother that has no expectation on you. Asks nothing of you. Asks you, in fact, to release all responsibility that you have maybe for your own mother, or you tried to heal and save your own mother. So many of us, this is where it starts. Bless you. Give it back. Choose relief. Choose freedom. Choose to love yourself enough to drop it. Give it back to Mother Gaia. And say to her, Mother, please forgive me. Which means, Mother, please take it off me. Mother, please unburden me. It's not my fault. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. Take it off. That's what it means. Can you give yourself that gift of forgiveness? Of course you can, because you're so full of love, you can do anything. Thank you. And so say to the Mother Earth, thank you. Thank you, Gaia. Thank you. And now another place we need to give back is like not just giving, like giving down, like letting go in that respect, but also giving up. Oh, give up the struggle. Give it up to the Divine Father, give it up to that God consciousness. And again, these are just my words. The Divine Father, that which shelters and protects us, watches over us. That feeling of the bigger me, the bigger Father in me, the masculine in me, the provider, the protector in me, or the protector of all on this planet. It's completely unconditional. You don't have to believe in any religion or any God or any deity. In fact, for these purposes, please don't. Let it just be an experience of giving up to the light, to unconditional love. That heavy backpack, that heavy burden, generally on the back of your neck, on the back of your head, that weighs on the back of your heart, that weighs on your guts. All that responsibility sitting heavy in your stomach. Give it back. And it's really great to make a sound as well and just go, that sound of relief. And God would say to you, well, the absolute light of unconditional love, if the Divine Father would say to you, I'm sorry I put my burdens on you. I'm sorry you thought you had to shoulder the weight of my pain for me. I'm sorry you took responsibility where the responsibility was not yours to take. You thought it was. You were so kind, so sweet, so loving. Well done. And actually, you know it's not your responsibility because it feels so bloody awful. When it's hard, that means it's not really meant for you. Okay? You thought that it was because you picked up a struggle pattern. It's depressing. Makes you low, it makes you lethargic, it drains your energy. You don't want to wake up in the morning. You want to knock yourself out with smoking or booze or whatever just to numb it. Maybe you're copying what your father did. Maybe you're trying to run away somewhere. Maybe you're trying to just escape because you can't deal with it. And it's not fair on you because it's too heavy. It doesn't suit you. It doesn't fit you right. Okay? Is that true? Is that kind of true? If it's not okay, let's give it back. It's a bad fit. It's not meant for you. Would you be willing to give that up, my darling? My love? If you love yourself enough, please give it up. Say, yes, I love myself enough to stop taking this burden that I thought was mine. And say, please forgive me. I thought this burden was yours. It did fall heavy on you, little me. Because nobody else was doing it. My dad wasn't doing it, or whoever, you know. We're not blaming Daddy, we're really not. But maybe that's where you picked it up. So let's just say this anyway, just in case. Okay? Just in case, let's clean that place. I'm so sorry, Mum. You really tried to be a big boy or a big girl. You tried to take care of Dad, you tried to do his job, you tried to help him, tried to love him, tried to do it for him instead of him. And it didn't work out. I'm so sorry, me. Please forgive me, little burden to me. I'm so sorry. It's not fair. It doesn't fit you. It's been painful. Really acknowledge the pain at this point, okay? Because often we turn away from the pain. Like I said, we numb it, we drink it, we sleep it, we sex it, we gamble it, we something, we work it, we go away from it. We go into relationship instead of going into our pain and feeling it, honestly, like a warrior of love that you are, to go and meet that crumpled little you that's in pain. Generally here, I'm feeling it in my solar plexus, I'm feeling you so strongly. And I'm totally with you. And I love you. Please forgive me and please come home right now. Please be willing to give this up right now. Come back to source. Come back to the truth. Come back to the unconditional love that you are and that is being given to you right now by the power of this breath. Breathe. Come home. Be free. Come back to being your natural self. Come back to being that little one that was born free. This free spirit, this beautiful light that you are, come back to that place. Shake off the chains. Shake off the responsibility. Just shake it off. And say, well done me. I love you. I do love you. And I now choose by the power of absolute unconditional love that I am. I'll say that again. I now choose consciously by the power of absolute love in my heart center that I am, by the power of source, creator, divinity, God, truth, justice, universe, that I am. To come back home to the truth. To come home to the love that I am. Thank you, me. Well done, me. Give yourself some acknowledgement. Now, often, I'm going to come to the chat box in a minute, so if you have anything to say and anybody wants to share anything, you can do that. But let's just really notice, okay? Almost everybody, if not everybody, that I've ever seen, and let's just say that's a few thousand people. Obviously, it's not everybody in the world. Let's just say quite a lot of people, including myself, and this is why I know it's true, because if it's true for me, it's generally going to be true for you too, that we need validating. We need validating for our accomplishments in order for us to thrive and to move forward and to keep doing something good, our gift, our talent. But we also need validation for the suffering, because otherwise it's like we're trying to unconsciously show everybody, almost like a veteran would wear the medal. You know, like, look at me, look what I've done, look how I suffered for you. Now, will you please give me some validation? Will you please give me some acknowledgement? Because I really need to know that my suffering wasn't for nothing. I really need to know that you appreciate me, that you see me, that you value me, because I've been valiant. I've been courageous. I've worked my ass off. I've been in fear, and I overcame. And I need to be seen. I need to be validated. Breathe that one in. So you might not be carrying that around consciously looking for validation, but actually you are. I bet you money on it. And you know why? Because you need it. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Every single human being needs to be validated for their existence. Otherwise, you may as well not exist, and you would simply take yourself out. You would simply cease to be here. One way or another, you would start to disappear and disappear. Many different routes of taking the disappearing act. We're all doing it in various different ways. Now, if you aren't getting the validation that you need, and whoever it is that you need to see you, or the world, or your pain, you're carrying the pain around until somebody validates you so you don't have to carry it anymore. That's a serious condition. That's a serious illness. That's a serious lack condition, a lack of validation. So let's take this seriously. If this is true and you can feel something right now that feels really uncomfortable, generally it will feel like a weight or a heaviness or a panic, or you might be starting to freak out. Breathe into it, soften and relax into it, okay? Really come back here. You need to be validated, my love. And I'm inviting you, for you to be the one to see you, for you to be the one to see that pain. Because nobody else is going to be able to see what you've done in your life for others. No one else is going to be able to see how much you've suffered in your attempts to give and serve and to be loved back. No one is going to see that more than you are. You're the closest one to you. You see more than everybody else does. You were born more conscious than most other people on this planet. Now, please forgive me that they're not going to see you. That can be really painful, and I'm so sorry if that is painful. And if you've waited long enough and you would like to really validate your own self and your own pain so that you can actually exchange your pain, you can start to dissipate and dissolve that pain and actually turn it into power. Turn it into a force that works for you rather than a force that's working against you. Let's stop and take a breather for a moment. And let's just see if we have any questions. If anybody want to say anything at this point or wants to ask anything specific around being validated, we don't understand what I mean by that. So just checking that box. No, it doesn't seem that anybody there's feeling. So shall I just continue to go on then? This is a massive transformational point. Step 1, breathe. If you missed the beginning, come back and breathe like this. Receiving the breath. Because we have to stop saying this is all up to me, because that feeling of it's all up to me, I'm all by myself, I'm overwhelmed, I'm panicked. This is where anxiety gets really, really chronic. It's all up to me. It's not all up to you. And you have to remember that. You have to then first breathe, then choose to change your state. Because you cannot be helped, no matter how good a healer I am or somebody else is, or maybe the zillions of healers you've been to, or maybe the books you've read. No matter how much other people love you and want to help you, actually you're the boss. Actually you're the one with the power. You were the one that chose unconsciously, without realizing, to start this struggle. You chose to take it on. You chose to be in this life. And that's not a bad thing. You did it through valor, through love, through an ability, through courage. But you're also the one that has to say, okay, well, I need to be the boss of me again. I need to validate me. And not because everybody else is crap and everyone else is rubbish and no one loves you enough, because that's actually not true. It might feel like that's true and it might seem incredibly real. But would you be willing to see a different reality? Would you be willing to actually have your eyes cleaned of the pain? To have your heart restored of all those painful beliefs that we've dumped on ourselves or that we've taken in of other people? And validate yourself for what you've been through, for your journey, for your pain. Get really clear. Powerfully acknowledge yourself as much as you would wish others to acknowledge you. Can you do that for you? Can you be your own amazing hero? Be your own angel, because actually you are an angel in a human body. Now take your angelic heart, take your angelic love, go and kneel in front of that pain. Kneel in front of the one that needs to be seen and validated so that you can move on. So that your pain wasn't for nothing, your struggle wasn't for nothing, so that you can give that up. And let's give it back to the Hall of Records. Let's put it on a beautiful shelf, like a medal that you've won, but let's not keep wearing it and trying to show everybody. Let's just put that trophy of everything that you've been through and put it somewhere beautiful. It all goes back to the Akashic Records. Everything that you've ever experienced is recorded, is seen, is heard, is valid, is part of the human experience, is part of the human condition being made and then undone and then restored and then evolved. And every little thing that you've done has helped. Everything you've experienced has been for a divine reason. And if you don't know that that's true, or you haven't been able to see it, because we can't, quite simply, we can't see all of that stuff that we do, then please forgive me. I am so sorry that you have not been seen, that your pain has not been validated, that your struggle has not been made valid, not been made valuable yet. You haven't been paid for it yet. It hasn't paid off. You didn't get the dividends on your return. You didn't get the well done pat on the back. Now you can finish that job and start doing something wonderful for yourself. Yes, are you with me? You understand? You need that validation. You need to take the check, the paycheck, and then go on holiday and do something fun for yourself. You need to start creating what you were here to do. So is it time that you stopped being in pain? I love you so much, and I completely understand this. I really, really do. With all my heart and soul, I get it. And I see you, and I feel you, and I love you. And please forgive me that no one has come to take your pain away. And whoever you're waiting for has not done it yet. Maybe you're waiting for God to do it. Maybe you're waiting for the world to change. Maybe you're waiting for some massive, catastrophic earth shift so that all the bad people die in an earthquake or something. You know, I'm so sorry that none of that is actually happening. You're still here right now. It is as it is. And you are needed, my love. Your power is needed. So please forgive me. I love you. Let me take it off you. Give it back to Source. By the power of absolute love that I am, by the power of Source energy, I command you right now, beautiful, precious, little being, powerful beyond measure being, to give back your pain, your sorrow, your suffering, your lack of validation, and give it all back to Source Creator Self right now. Thank you. I love you. Well done. Woohoo! Shake it down, shake it out. Well done, me. Give yourself your hands. You are the love that you have been waiting for. You are the one that you've been waiting for. You are the hero. You're the game changer for your own life and for the planet, and it starts with you. Take responsibility of you and you alone. This is your yard. This is your home. This is your house. And it's yours to clean up and make good and make ready for the queen or the king or the princess or that divine, pure, holy child of yourself to move in and be in existence in the way that it was promised for you. Do you remember that promise? Somewhere in the back of your mind, somewhere in your psyche, somewhere in your soul, you remember there's a promise that you were promised that when you come to earth, when you come into this place of suffering and you experience everybody's pain and suffering, that you were going to transcend it. That you were going to, it's like gardening, you know, taking a big pile of crap, taking a big pile of rubbish, and being able to go deep, deep, deep into it with your consciousness, with your love, with your gardening hands of love. Right? This is your soil, your body, your mind, your heart. This is your soil. And you let the divine consciousness of breath in, just like you would let first when you're gardening, you would turn the soil and you would let it aerate. You would let the oxygen into the soil. You would let some light into that soil. Right? So this is what we do. Allow the breath in, allow the light of consciousness back into you. Loosen everything up. Recognize it. Hello, me. That's in a state of suffering. It's in a state of panic. Hello, me that's in a state of anxiety, overwhelm. This is not okay, is it? If you're a loving being, it's not okay for you to continue existing in this way. It's not fair. It's not what life is asking you to do. It's what you thought you had to do. Bless you. say that to yourself. Bless you, me. I really thought I had to do this. And you did, in a way. There's no right or wrong here. It's kind of all true and not true all at the same time. So we just wash everything. Let's not get caught up in the concepts. Let's just say, bless you, me, for showing up to all of this. And I love you, anxious me. I love you, overwhelmed me, because it is overwhelming. There's a lot of pain in this world, a lot of confusion. And say to yourself, please forgive me, overwhelmed, anxious me. And forgive me really means, hey, me, let me let this go. Because when we say, oh, just let it go, it's like, I used to get really fed up with that. Like, let it go where? Do I just if I drop it, it's sort of like littering. And then I end up just picking it up again because I'm a really responsible, loving, conscientious person. And if somebody else isn't going to pick it up, I end up picking it up again. Because I'm trying to find where it goes. Please forgive me. Let it be forgiven, let it be released, returned, restored, back to wholeness, back to oneness, back to source. Let everything reintegrate back to the place where it came from. Thank you. I love you. Well done. You are here for a divine reason. You are here to shine. You are here to be in your unique vibration of truth. You are powerful beyond measure, and that's why you're scared. How to be so responsible for this much power? How do you direct that? Where do you take it? How do you express that? How do you tell people? It's kind of easier to shut it all down and hide. That's what's overwhelming. Yeah? Things aren't always as they appear to be so. Generally, they're not at all. They're the opposite. So we can think that we're overwhelmed by all the fear and all the pain in the world, but what it does is it triggers the responsible, powerful being in us that says, okay, it's my time. This is the call. It's my time to get out on that stage of the world and do my amazing thing. And chances are you're panicking and going, oh, but I don't know what my amazing thing is. I've forgotten my lines. Where is it? Where has it gone? What's my instrument of passion? What's my instrument of joy? Where's that thing? And you're going to be probably panicking. And I'm going to move the screen again, because I bet you're feeling it kind of somewhere here in the solar plexus. Okay, possibly, oops, a bit too much, possibly also in the heart, or in this higher heart area, which is your sense of purpose and your sense of personal belief. Take a breath. Start to get overwhelmed ever, or you start to feel anxious and you start to go tense. That's your cue. Something else needs to happen. Do you want to be in this state? Choose. Are you loving yourself by existing in this state? Is someone going to rescue you? No. It's up to you. You're the powerful one. Oh yeah, so I am. Oh yeah, relax. It's me. Come back to the truth. And say to yourself, I am so sorry, me, that I've been getting scared and anxious because I didn't recognize that I have a divine part to play in this paradigm of chaos and confusion. I didn't realize I was quite so powerful as I actually am. I'm so sorry, me, that your power scares me. Say it like that. I'm so sorry, me, that your power, me, is overwhelming, is scary. Because my mind doesn't understand it. It doesn't make sense up here, right? Probably getting a funny feeling back here. Oh. Your mind doesn't understand everything. It's only one tool in the box. Something else really understands. Your higher intelligence, your divine, intuitive heart intelligence is the master intelligence of this body, of your entire being. Because why? Your heart is source. Your heart is the source of creation itself. Living, beating, breathing, source, connection. That is your infinite intelligence. Come back home, breathe. Yes, it's true, isn't it? Can you say that out loud? Yep, that's kind of true. It might be scary that it's true, but flipping heck, whoa, yes, it's true. I am source energy. I am source creation. In a being, in a body, with a voice, with hands, with gifts, with a message, with a purpose, with a power that my mind does not understand. And let me just say to you, let's unhitch that mind that's freaking out and causing you to panic, the part of you that's causing the overwhelm and that anxiety, because it doesn't get it. It's way outside of the box. Let's unhitch that and turn around and look at it and bless it. Oh, anxiety. Oh, anxious me. Oh, overwhelmed, lost, freaking out me. Breathe, feel, use your empathy and your compassion, because that's who you are. You're a naturally empathic, beautiful, compassionate being, aren't you? You give it to everybody else, now let's give it to you. I am so sorry, overwhelmed, anxious, panicking, freaking out me. But you don't know your place yet. You can't figure this out. Please forgive me, I'm so sorry. And let me say that to you as well. Double whammy, I'm so sorry, it doesn't make sense. Whatever doesn't make sense is not supposed to make sense because it's not the truth. That's why it doesn't make sense. You are absolutely right to realize, hold on a minute, this is not making sense. Yes, you're right, it doesn't make sense because it's not the truth. Come back home. Please forgive me that what you're trying to understand and put together and add up and make it work, it's not working because it's not the truth. I'm so sorry. I love you. Please come home right now to the absolute source of truth, to the sense that is inside of you, to the part of you that does make sense, the true sense, the true source, your true self, your true divine, beautiful, humble, childlike being. That makes sense. You are pure truth, and I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving up the struggle. How can you serve the world when you're in struggle? How can you be your best when you're in struggle? How can you show everybody how magnificent and amazing you are? How can you even do that for yourself, to please yourself and fulfill your own self, if you're overwhelmed and struggling? You can't. It's like drowning, or it's like paddling water, treading water. Would you be willing to stop that? Would you be willing to give up the struggle to be in your power and arise? You are needed. I need you. Everyone else on this planet needs you, whether you understand it and you believe that or not. Why? Because this world, this universe is like an orchestra. You are a unique instrument of the divine. There isn't another one like you. You have a unique sound. You have a unique vibration. You have a unique beauty. And when your unique vibration is added to the symphony in harmony, it reverberates throughout the entire orchestra. It reverberates throughout the entire planet. You have an effect that's way beyond what you can see or measure or even understand with this mind. But you can feel it and you can know it, and that can fulfill you. Is that kind of true? Would you be willing for that to be true? Does it feel more true than struggling and suffering? Come back home. We need you. I need you. Universe needs you. Planet needs you. Unhitch that tow bar of everything that you've been carrying. The anxiety, the struggle, the lack. It's not yours. Please forgive me that you just picked it up along the way. Return to source. Give it back with blessing. Give it back with love. Say, here you go, source. Please forgive me. I thought it was supposed to be hard work. I thought I had to keep pushing. Please forgive me. Say that to source. Please forgive me. Thank you. And every time you say please for something, you're asking. So you need to follow that up with a thank you. It's like a bookend. Please, can I have? Yes, of course you can. Thank you. It's done. You're not asking somebody else for permission because it's going to be done. You're asking because it brings you humility. And humility is where you can serve yourself from. If you're full of pride and full of anger and full of blame and full of shame and full of, I'll keep all my pain, thank you very much, who the fuck are you? Nothing can get in. You can't be helped. I'm sorry, I love you, please come home. Please forgive me. Come back to the heart of a child. Say, please forgive me, that I've been too proud, too stuck in my ways, too full of my own pain, too full of my own suffering to change. Even if you don't think that's true, say it out loud because it's a powerful thing to say. Please forgive me that I've been too full of my pride, my ideas. I've been too full of my pain. I've been so attached to suffering. I've been so attached to my fear. I did not realize that I could choose something else. I am so sorry, me. Please forgive me. Me. Please forgive me. Thank you. Breathe. Receive. Well done, me. Well done, humble me. Because when you return to source, when you return to humility, when you return to that place of a child, then you're open to be being given to. Then you're open for love. Then you're open for true power, real power. Then you're open to serving yourself because you're in that humble, beautiful, vulnerable place. Now you can help yourself because you can get in, the door's open. And when you help yourself, you actually become a light of service for the world. But it must begin with you. You must be that humble to begin with. So just be willing to start with you. Don't try and rescue everybody else. As you probably noticed, that wasn't working out so well so far. It has a lot of shortfalls. It's very unsustainable, and it's very painful and unfulfilling ultimately. Right? So in order for you to really, really serve the world and to serve your greater purpose, you need to be humble enough to come back home, return here, and serve yourself the greatest humble pie, the greatest acknowledgement, the greatest blessing that you can offer, and scatter your blessings like little stars, like little kisses, all over the most wounded, vulnerable, damaged parts of yourself. If you're willing to love yourself enough to do that. If you need it. When you serve yourself, you heal yourself. Don't let anything slip your attention. Don't think, oh, that's it, I've done it now. Be always curious, like that child. Be always aware of when you're not quite okay. And just go there immediately, like a screaming baby. If something's wrong, go there. Don't shut the door. Pretend. Open the door with your breath. Bring your hands back to you. Bring your awareness back to you. Bring your love back to you, your empathy and compassion back to you, and hold yourself. Say, it's okay, me, I've got you. I love you. I'm totally here for you. I'm here to serve you first, me. Say that out loud and see how it feels. I now choose, by the power of absolute love that I am, by the divine and holy truth that I am, to serve me first, to learn how to serve this beautiful me first, and practice and get really good at it. So I begin to excel, so I begin to thrive, so I begin to feel joyful and relieved and happy and like I'm doing really well in my own life. And then you realize what your strengths are. And you're building a muscle, your love muscles. Build your love muscles on yourself. Because when you master love, life, and liberation for you, or even as you're beginning to master, maybe there's no ceiling on mastery, but as you begin to get the hang of it, as you begin to master it, then you can start really deliberately serving from a place of knowing, from a place of power, not from a place of lack, not from a place of pain, not from a place of trying to get your needs met and your suffering validated. It completely reverses the entire, it reverses everything. It does a 180-degree turn in your life so that everything then starts to flow. You're going with what wants to happen, which is your power coming out into the world. That's what wants to happen. The doors are wide open. Now, please forgive me if you didn't know that and you couldn't see it and it hasn't appeared real in your life so far. That the doors into the world for you to emerge and be in your greatest, fullest divine truth and power and you'll shine your light. I am so sorry if those doors have not appeared open to you. I am so sorry if that's been the case, and it probably has. Please forgive me. I love you. And it's time to come home. Back to the truth, back to source, that you are. That you exist here for you. You're here for you to enjoy. You are your birthday present. You were born for you. This body is yours for your soul to inhabit. Being on earth present. Your birthday present. This is your body, your time, your life. Get back into this body, into this moment, into this existence here. And if it's been too scary for you to be on this earth, I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you. But it's time now. Let me roll out that red carpet for you. Or the blue carpet if you're from the Pleiades, or from one of those other dimensions where blue is your colour. Or gold or purple, whatever colour carpet you want to have. Let me roll it out for you. I am so sorry that you have not been recognised. That your power, your light, your beauty, your fragrance, your essence, your incredible, amazing you has not yet been witnessed on this earth by you or anybody else. Please forgive me. Doesn't mean it's my fault, doesn't mean it's your fault. It means it just sucks. And it feels bad. So we're going to release it, because you don't need to feel that way. You can just release it back to source. You can release it to love. So here you go, love. I don't need this pain. Thank you. Please take it off me. Thank you. Thank you, love, that I am. I love you, me. Well done. How much would you be willing to love yourself? How much would you be willing to really come home to the full-on, powerful, immaculate truth that you are incredible? Can we take all the blocks away? Can we take all the fear barriers away? It feels vulnerable to be this powerful. And I don't mean forceful powerful. I'm sure you can feel the kind of powerful I'm talking about, like light, like love powerful, like it just gets into every little crack and every little crease. There's nowhere that love does not want to go. Love loves everything. Love is everything. And your power, your essence, your light, your love is like that. It wants to be received everywhere. And it must be first received by you, must first be validated by you. First your pain, clear the blocks, then seeing behind the pain what's hiding there, waiting to get out, waiting to burst through, waiting for somebody to see it. Breathe. How does it feel when you see it? How does it feel when you validate it? How does it feel when you courageously show up and recognize what a full power being you are? How beautiful you are. Breathe and feel. Hold yourself. Say to yourself, I'm so sorry, me. I have been so scared of having to deal with being this powerful. I didn't know how to do it. I couldn't cope with the amount of love in me, with the amount of light in me. I couldn't cope with this giant responsibility of being this magnificent me. I love you. Sink, soften the back of your spine. If you're getting tense anywhere, soften the lungs, soften the back, soften the throat again, soften the belly, soften the arms. Please forgive me. I have thrown up so much pain and resistance. Anything to avoid being absolutely amazing. Because I'm scared shitless of being this powerful. Please forgive me. Are you with me? I'm so sorry, me. I'm scared of being this powerful, this amazing, this bright, this full of love, this open, this wide open, vulnerable, amazing and brilliant. Whatever words you want to put in there, add your own, because only you know what's in there. You're the one that can see. You're the one with the eyes. You're the conscious one here. See it. Say, I'm sorry. I've been too scared to let all of this out and let it be known in the world that I am magnificent. Let it out. And then say to yourself, oh, me, please forgive me. I've kept you trapped. I've kept you stuck. I've kept you frustrated. I've kept you in a big story of lack and pain, trying to keep you safe. Right? Breathe all of that in. It might be blowing your mind right now. Just let the fresh air in. Unconditionally. Let go. Be breathed. Let your breath take everything that is not truly belonging. Let your breath take all the soot and the dirt and the blocks away. Open. Receive and release. And just be breathed. It wasn't all you're doing. None of this was all you're doing. It's not all down to you. You couldn't help it. It's not your fault. It was the state of the world. It's the state of the human condition. It's just what it's like being a human being. Please forgive me, any and all parts of you that feel like you're at fault, that you're stupid, that you're crap, that you can't do it, that it's not true for you. What I'm saying, it's just true for everyone else. And it can't be true for you because you're not that amazing. If you're feeling that, I'm so sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. And right now, by the power of unconditional love that I am, come home. Please forgive me. I love you. Come home to the truth. Yes, you are. Set tender, sweet, fragile, amazing you. Come home to the absolute truth that you have every right to be on this planet in all your sweet, beautiful glory. Thank you. I love you. Stretch it out. Can you feel that in the back of your neck? Oh, righty. Woo! Say, well done, me. Give yourself a little stroke. Shake anything out. Yes, I love you, me. I love you, magnificent me. Well done, beautiful me. All right, sweethearts. So I'm just going to check in. So what have we got going on here? I want to validate myself instead of wanting to be validated by others, but I'm so fucking scared at times it just does my nut in. Oh my God. Hands up who gets that. I'm not going to read your names out in case that you don't want your names to be read out. And in fact, if there's anybody that wants to come on here and say anything out loud, you're more than welcome. I realize we've gone over the hour, but hey, I knew this would happen. Yeah, hands up who it is totally scary to be that powerful and validate ourselves and to have the keys to open our own doors to our own jail and free ourselves. But you are that powerful. In your sweet childlike innocence, you're that powerful. So go to the fear. Simply go to the fear and beg forgiveness. Please forgive me that you're so scared me. I really love you, scared me. I need you, scared me. You're powerful, scared me. Come home, scared me. You're part of me. I need you on board. I need you to come home to the truth right now. Thank you. Got it? Okay, so somebody else. Yeah, you can read that from Anthony, guys. I'm sure you can read what's written in the chat boxes. Thank you, Anthony, for your comments. So I'm going to go to the Q&A. What if you feel that you need validation for something that occurred in a previous lifetime? Whoa. Okay, thank you, Allegra. The thing is, let's just say that all time and space, all past, however far back past goes, and all future, however far forward future goes, let's just say it's all happening right here, right now. Because you get a sense of the past and you get a sense of the future, and somewhere in between there, sandwiched in between, is this immaculate moment now, where there is no past and there is no future, there's just now. So whatever's happened in the past, you can only deal with right now. Whatever you want to happen in the future, you can only be with and be present with and experience right now. You are never going to experience the future. We project future, and to a large degree, we imagine the past. And let's validate that all of that is relevant. All of that's part of our human experience. None of this is wrong because you've been designed this way. Everything about you is absolutely right, exactly as it should be. Now, all we can do, I say all in the most amazing, powerful way, is bring our awareness, our immediate right now consciousness to any part that right now we are experiencing as not quite okay. And we can label that past or future, but actually everything in the past and future happens in this moment now. It all happens now. We're experiencing it now. The pain of your past you can still feel now. The anxiety of your future you can feel now. So let's feel it now. Let's be in the now. Because this is where the power is to transform it, if you want to be that powerful. If you want to love yourself enough, then you choose that. So you simply go to any part of you that's in need of validation, in need of recognition, in need of help, in need of support, in need of love, and you hold it wherever you feel it in your body to be. And you're only going to know where you feel it if you're breathing. Because we can try and imagine, but we might be off, we might imagine away from where it actually is. So we have to be switched on. Let's switch on our light consciousness. Hello, me. Hello, conscious me. I love you. Hello, truth of me. I love you. Hello, part of me that needs validating in a past life, in a future life, in whichever part of my life needs validating right now. Hello. Breathe into it. Soften, receive, and allow breath into that place. Allow your awareness to come into that place. Bring your touch and say, please forgive me that needs validating. Please forgive me that you haven't been validated yet and you're still waiting. And I'm sorry that you're stuck waiting for validation before you can heal, or before you can change, or before you can become powerful. I'm so sorry. In a way that I've abandoned you, me, in the search for somebody else to validate you. Please forgive me. And we beg for that forgiveness because we really want that part of us to let go, because we need it, because it's our healing, because it's our life. And we are so worth begging forgiveness of. And then with all our heart and all our love and all our blessings, saying, thank you, I needed that, I love you. And now return to absolute love, return to truth, return to this moment right now. Thank you. Good, so let's let that come to a close for now. That's enough for one day. You are amazing. You can email me any questions. hello@taraloveperry.com. Okay? You can find me on Facebook. Send me your questions. There's a follow-up to this. This is a taster. If you like what's happened today, I am running a 6-week healing journey where we're going to dive into all aspects of you that have not been seen, heard, validated, or loved, and get them and find them and love them back into wholeness. There's a whole list of this, and it's actually on my website. If you go under events, and you'll find the healing journey. I love you, me healing journey. I'm also going to send it to you to make sure that you get that information. And you are very much invited to come and join onto that. I'm just loving this. This is my way. I'm so excited to be able to reach lots of people all at once via webinars. So this is all new for me. So thanks for joining my first ever one and making it such an amazing experience for myself. I hope that you got so much value from this. I hope that you can now recognize yourself and continue to hold yourself while you continue to go through these shifts and changes, because even though the healing time that we've spent together is coming to a close, your journey is not finished. You're going to be processing a lot of what we've done just now. And would you be willing to love yourself enough to stay with you, to continue to breathe, continue to feel, and continue to release? Okay? I love you so, so much, beyond words. Thank you for being here in this world.